talking about purpose, right? So I've given you talents that not everybody has. I've given you skills that some people, that anybody can go and learn. And now I want to talk to you about the gifts. The gifts is
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings.
Yeah. Count it up. Line 'em up. Swear the sun shining on me, get my heart up, no matter that trouble surrounding us. They don't see that it's a lot of us. Everybody move anonymous. Won't take that credit, I know what we get it. Them blessings be coming from God above. I was doing all kind of bad, what a quiet ass, tell him I need a verse. Hit the pew and tell Gotti is first. Hit the studio, the body of verse. I remember pushing mama little white Honda with no gas money. I just bought a car, cash money. I ain't even tryna brag on it. I just tell it how it really is. I ain't tripping, they ain't feeling this. I ain't saying I deserve nothing, I'm just trying to talk about the benefits. I've been punching in the clock, trying to keep the kitchen stocked. Man, it's a blessing cause we ain't never had a lot, but all we need is all we got. Whew.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson.
all right, let's talk about the gifts. Your motivational gift is the key to you discovering your purpose. So let's talk about what each gift likes to do. The first one that he said was prophecy. We don't call it prophecy because if I say prophecy, you all start running because now you think I'm calling you a preacher. I ain't calling you that. Prophecy is a gift that many preachers have. If the preacher is a prophet, he has the gift of prophecy. Does that make sense? But just because you have the gift of prophecy, which is the perceiver gift that we're going to talk about in a moment, it does not mean that you were called into the ministry. Apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers. It doesn't mean that. Some of the best police officers in the whole wide world are not preachers, but they're perceivers. They have this first gift. You ready? Here we go. The perceiver is strong-willed. That's the telltale sign. If I pissed you off today, you're probably a perceiver. Who do you think he is? God sent me. I don't care what you think about me. I really don't. Because I know what he gave me. And I know he gave it to me for you. If you're super strong-willed, you're probably a perceiver. If you tell it like it is, if you like to mentor people, if you like to dramatize, enforce, and judge people, if you're judgmental, if no one's good enough to hang out in your circle, you're probably a perceiver. You don't have a lot of friends. And that's perfectly okay, isn't it, Thomas? Thomas don't have any friends. But he had my class, so he understands. It's okay. God didn't call you to have a lot of friends. So go become a judge so you can put everybody in jail and not care what they think about you. Because you're strong-willed. Make sense? Number two, the server. All of these in Romans 12, 6-8. If it is serving, right, according to the grace given you. Server is the most helpful. They assist, they work with their hands, they build, they fix, they follow, and they produce things. Servers are the ones that like to work with their hands. I know your father was a lawyer, your mother was a lawyer, your cousins are lawyers, and all of them, Johnny Cochran. I understand that. But if God put you on earth, man, and you take things apart and put them back together for no apparent reason, you're probably a server. Get an engineering degree. Get out of law school. That's why you're struggling. Oh, my mother, my father, my sister, and my brother. Yeah, it's going to cause hell in the house. But have a plan when you go to your dad and say, Dad, I like working with my hands. Dad, remember when I took your transmission apart and left it in the driveway and couldn't get it back together? That's because I love taking things apart. Now I know how to put transmissions back together, Dad, and that's what I want to do. And put a plan together. And stop trying to walk in there. I told you, man, this ain't popular. People hate me when I say this stuff. Hey! I don't care. Get better! Because the only other person that teaches this is Tom Rath. He has a book called, I forgot the book, but look him up. He teaches this. Can't be anything you want to be. Oh, I didn't finish that sentence. He said you can't be anything you want to be, but you can be all that God meant for you to be. That's the end of the sentence. He said you can't be anything you want to be, but you can be more of what God meant for you to be. That's the end of the sentence. I'm sorry, I left that hanging. Some of y'all probably still stuck on that sentence. All right, number 3, teacher. That's my top gift. Now, fret not, 6% of society are teachers. We've taught our class in 37 countries over the last 40 years. Only 6% of society is teachers. That's why our education system sucks. Because a lot of people teaching that don't have the gift of teaching. They got the gift of compassion. So they rub your wound but they do a good job of rubbing your wound when you fall in the playground. But you don't know 2 + 2 is 6. Right? Because they ain't teachers. Teachers, we love to analyze, discover, educate, research, solve issues. We want to solve issues. Okay? We want to solve issues. Number 3 is exhortation. The exhorter is the natural cheerleader. All gifts. Everybody in here has at least one of these, at least 2 of these. All right? The exhorter loves to coach, counsel, edify, inspire, and motivate people. That's why I teach the way I do. Because that's my secondary gift. So I'm a teacher and I'm an exhorter at the same time. Teachers are boring. My first gift is boring. That's Bueller. That's that guy. 2 + 2 is 4. Teacher exhorter says 2 + 2 is 4. Doc, look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them together, 4. Got it! And you leave like 4. I got it. That's a teacher exhorter. Right? Administrator is the born leader. Now, this is the leader that's born. They lead, they delegate, organize, oversee, and motivate. Some of you are natural leaders. If you were born with the spirit of leadership on you, if you were born with the gift of leadership on you, you're a natural born leader. You don't have to go learn how to lead. Now, you can go to ROTC and learn it. I'm not saying if that's your desire for a job, you want to be a manager, and so you need to learn how to lead. Remember, God doesn't care. He's the man, whatever you want to do for a career. Just make sure you cover my purpose, my divine purpose for your life, and the general purpose of Christians that all y'all are supposed to be doing, leading people to Christ, right? Treating people with dignity and respect, loving each other, forgiving each other, all of that stuff. Cover those, and then whatever job you want to do, you go ahead and do it. So why not go to UGA, man, get a better degree and come out making 6 figures instead of going to Huckabuck Tech because your uncle went there? The whole family's going to Huckabuck. Well, I ain't going to Huckabuck. We're all straight A students. Yeah, y'all straight A's, y'all went to Huckabuck. Okay? Do your own thing. And then lastly, I'm sorry, you got 2 more, but the last 2 are giving. You're happy to give. You would like to assist people, help people, support people, conduct business. If you are a giver, you love to give without people knowing it. Somebody needs money, you'll slip them $5. Put it on under their pillow or something in your dorm. You just leave it right there. You don't want them to know. You're probably a giver. Givers and servers look a lot alike. If you come to my house and I'm a server, I will give you something to eat. If you're a giver, I'm going to say, man, go on and fix your plate. See the difference? Givers. Most givers I know are paid, though. God put you on earth. Remember, this is your motivational gift. It motivates you to give. So God says, since he's motivated to give, I got to make sure he has so that he can be generous. According to 2 Corinthians 8, he can be generous on every occasion. I haven't seen too many broke givers because they always have so that they can give. Okay? And then there's a compassion person. These are the natural gifts. Compassion person is the person that loves to comfort people. It's the most emotional. And when I say emotional, I don't mean soft, sad, and crying. I mean emotional. Happy, sad, mad. Y'all remember Schoolhouse Rock? When you're happy, hooray, or sad, oh, excited, yeek, or mad, rats. Remember that? That person was a compassion person. You love to care and nurture for people. You love to rescue things in people. Relationships. You're always in other people's relationships. They come to your dorm to talk to you. Be careful because your love and caring demeanor will be misinterpreted by the opposite sex. I don't know why I said that. Because I teach that in my marriage class, but it is because, what did I say? If you're a compassion person, women will mistake your compassion for you trying to get at them. Right? Because you love them, you care them, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, everything's going to be all right. Next thing you know, be careful, brother. You end up messing up. That's the truth. And I normally teach that in my marriage seminar, so that's for somebody in here. You really meant well. You really, really wanted to help that girl because you have compassion. You just wanted to comfort, nurture, and care. But her boyfriend doesn't comfort her, care for her, or nurture her. So guess now what just happened to you and your homeboy's girlfriend? I like you. Uh-oh. No, tell her, baby, I got to get the compassion. I'm just trying to be nice and nurture you now. I ain't trying to do that. because you will get caught in that trap, especially young ladies. Those young ladies that love you and care about you, come on, cook you something to eat. She really just wanted to cook you something to eat. Next thing you know. Next time we have a seminar, you're sitting back there. So which gifts do you have based on those?
Mr. Early said, I've never seen a broke giver. You reap what you sow. It's a cycle, it's a principle that God says, I can't stop. I need you to understand, it's only going to happen when you constantly come in the download. Download. Take off your coat, sit in my presence, kick it. You know how every now and then a superhero got to go recharge? Got to go get some replenishment. We can be gifted and talented as all get out. I can go through this word, I can dissect it, I can go whatever this and that. Revelation, everything I'm saying, all this and that is because I'm in his presence. And it was a process, it was a time frame. The Bible says faith cometh by what? Hearing. And hearing what? Hearing the word of God. It don't come by playing Madden. It don't come by watching the tournament this weekend. It don't come by watching Scandal. It don't come by Empire. It don't come by hip hop. It don't come by music. It comes by the word, meaning that this deposit of faith that was put on the inside of me from conception, Elohim, this part of him that's put, the spiritual aspect that's put inside of me, it only grows by my word or soul. Your soul is your intellect, your will, your emotions, all of that stuff. You're never trying to save your spirit, man. You know, the song says, I want my soul to be saved. It don't say, I want my spirit to be saved. Your rejuvenated spirit is perfect. But your soul holds on to the brokenness, the damage of your upbringing, the negativity, the hurt, the resentment, the bitterness, the brokenness. So now let's go back to everyone that's been given a measure of faith. Did it make sense to y'all? Understand this clearly. The authority of the gospel of Jesus Christ is equal to every believer. Who disagrees? The authority of the gospel of Jesus Christ is equal to every believer. So now, you have the power to fill in the blank. Like you said, once you search your spiritual gifts, if you want to go be a pastor, prophetic, you're a perceiver, you love that, I operate in that. My top 3 motivational gifts are a teacher, perceiver, administrator. From a spiritual perspective. I'm dysfunctional as a mug. My son will tell you, my wife complaining about my desk all day, every day. I can find what I need, but I could put a project together just like that, give instructions. You see what I'm saying? I'm sanguine choleric. You familiar with that? Those are the personality traits.
My process was not necessarily one that took me 20, 30 years, 40 years to discover, although that's not bad. Part of our mission and vision at our church is helping people discover their purpose. And praying for this event, I just was reminded that there are many paths that's going to bring you into your purpose. And what I mean by that is, you look at the whole issue of Joseph, you're going to have a life full of contradictions. It's not just so much a dream, it's the fact that God will take you a route that doesn't line up to what the dream looks like. So contradiction becomes the process by which you come to your purpose. So 17 years later, you have that eureka moment, is like, oh, you meant it for evil, God meant it for good. You look at Nehemiah, who comes into purpose by a question, by asking somebody, how are our people back in Jerusalem? And so then you look at Isaiah, who's a church boy, who in church, who would go from me, here I am, send me. So the process is going to look different for people. So I don't want anyone to feel dismissive if you don't have it at this age or this stage of your life, because the process is going to vary. For me, I just was blessed by God enough that at a young age I had it. Doesn't mean I walked in it, but I knew it. But that was my process.
So that question, I would say, take where you are now. Like Coach just stated, for the time at UGA, he purposed for me to do Men of Purpose. So notice he says, I know I'm moving on, but for the time being. So you can only embrace where you are. Like Joseph had to embrace he was in prison. He still served God. He still prayed in prison. He still encouraged. But you can only embrace purpose for where you're at right now. You can't, to maximize. So if your purpose is, I'm here to get an education, I'm here to get focused, I'm here to figure out and start this phase 1 of my life, then that's what you embrace. You can begin sowing seeds and you can work towards the vision. But just like the question previously, daily purpose, you can only embrace where you are at this moment. Like it's nothing, like none of us can do nothing about refugees in Iraq right now. We can, and if we're not going to Iraq for the next 7 years, if we're not going on the mission program for the next 7 years, if we're not going to NASA for the next 10 years, we can't embrace that purpose right now. We can only effectively fulfill what is purpose right now. So finding it is embracing where you are right now. Like he said, God has the roadmap. God has he orders your steps, but he orders your stops. So in other words, some things you tried. How many of y'all made plans your freshman year and now you're looking like, well, that didn't come to pass. I stopped doing that. Because he orders steps and he orders stops, as my pastor always teaches. So therefore, you got to be able to stop and just say, okay, what's purpose for where I am right now? And you make a plan. So therefore, you remember in Jeremiah, when he pretty much is encouraging the people to become prosperous in captivity? In other words, God is reaffirming that I know the plans I have for you. The plans I have for you to give you a hope in the future. In the meantime, I need you to become productive where you are.
Took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up.